thank you guys for allowing me to interview you. It's kind of like one of those things that kind of the universe has to align, right? Like all the stars need to align to have people like your caliber in one table and get to pick their brains and ask them questions. A lot of heavy duty people here. I appreciate the time, the talk, the conversation, the music that you have shared with us.
Yeah.
Wonderful music. You guys have, come together to Costa Rica, maybe have different stories. And I'm sure we're not gonna cover everything in this sit down, but let's tackle it. The Sugar Daddies. Let's start with you, Lawrence. How did this group form? It's amazing. The sound it sounds like you have been together for more than 20 years.
It's developing. Each time we rehearse, we find another dimension to the band. We've been together, Gene, or all of the four of us, been together doing this for how many years? 3 years?
2 years.
Yeah. About 3 years. So I might have explained this to you before in our conversations, that we started off, I think there were 7 of us. And then through different reasons, people left the band. And now we are the nucleus of the group. So we went from, what was the name of the band before?
Modern now.
No, it was, oh no.
I thought it was like music.
Ace something. I forget. Anyway.
Okay, so the official name is Los Sugar Daddies. Right. Okay, sounds like Los Lonely Boys, right? Like it's
similar.
Yeah, but it's because of the cultural context, right? I mean, we're in Costa Rica, and
yeah.
Los gives it reference to the Spanish language.
And wasn't it Maria at Moya's? They would call us the Sugar Daddies.
Yeah, Mariana started that. Maria was saying it. They kind of say it behind our back, but then one day they turned around and just said, "Oh, those Sugar Daddies," and we're like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's pretty good. Better than the old farts or something." No, so we stuck with that. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah. So let's go around the table here. So Lawrence, you are the lead singer as well. You play guitar. You play.
I do a little bit of everything just to keep. I do what we need, if I can.
Okay.
So if it needs keyboards, it needs a guitar, vocals, that's what I do. We'll learn the parts. I'm not a keyboardist, but I play what needs to be played.
Okay.
Really.
And you write the songs, correct?
No, we all write. I write
really?
some of them, but we write together. The last year or so, we've kind of got a lot tighter. We're not playing out live, so we're spending more time rehearsing and developing original songs. So some of them I've written, and some of them we collaborated on. So the ones that are the collaboration is more of the heart and soul of the Sugar Daddy. It's our sound. So
yeah.
That's how it's worked out. And as we go ahead and as we rehearse and we develop new songs, new ideas, and slightly different sounds.
Amazing. We're gonna come right back to you, but I just want our audience to know who the members of the Sugar Daddies are. Let's go back to you, Gene. Tell us a little bit about you and what instrument do you play in the band?
I've been playing bass. I'm the bass player. And also I do a lot of I had a large recording studio in Houston. So along with Lawrence, who also understands the DAW technology, we go in and run sound, set up things the way we think they should be, and then just collaborate with what I have. I've got about 50 years experience at thumping on 4 strings, so it all comes together. It's fantastic.
Well, one thing that I noticed about the Sugar Daddies is the setup of the bass and the drums. For personal reasons, I guess you grew up learning, playing a lefty, right?
Yeah, my father was a country musician, and I just at 7 years old, I just started picking up the guitars and things, and I'm left-handed. So I naturally did the Jimi Hendrix, turned it over and played that way, moved on to bass and kept playing like that, and then one day, everybody's going, well, turn the strings over. Well, that's like riding a bicycle backwards. So I've just been doing it the way I have. I've switched to a left-handed bass, strung right, and it works for me. There's some things I can do easier than a right-hander, and some things right-handers can do that are a lot more difficult.
That's so interesting. I never tried your bass, but I did try the drums. We'll get to it, Jack.
People not to play your bass. Say, hey, can I use your bass? Oh, it's a left-hander.
I was just going to say, that prevents people from touching your instrument.
Right.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There you go.
All right, let's go to the next member.
I'm Charlie.
Do you carry a harmonica all the time in your pocket?
He's the banjo player.
And I sing a bit too. I moved here 5 years ago and was lucky enough to run into these fellas intentionally and hooked together with them. And you know, I was based in Chicago in the blues for many, many years, and got to play with a bunch of my heroes that are dead now. And so I've been learning more contemporary style of playing and really expanded my abilities as much as I could anyway, in order to fit in and be complimentary, and step out once in a while as well.
That's awesome. Great, thank you.
I'm Jack, I'm the drummer.
You are the drummer.
I'm learning how to sing little by little, and like these guys, I feel very fortunate to be in the middle of a cloud forest and having to run into great people and really fine musicians. It's a lot of fun spending time with these guys, and it brings a lot of joy to my life, engaging in this music with them. And I'm very, very fortunate to have found these guys.
That's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that you're learning about singing, because everybody participates in the vocal, right? Yeah. And that just gives it, I don't know, like the glue of the band. When everybody joins, it just makes you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Because yeah, there's the you know, the beef and potatoes, the bass and the drums tight, and then the arrangements. But then when the vocals come together, that's like, oh man, that
helps
feels.
create our sound.
That's what people notice here. They go, you don't hear too many bands nowadays that have, you know, 3-part, 4-part harmonies. So they kind of flip out on that. They point that out right away. I mean, young people and the older people. Wow, that's great. You got to tell them about your bass accord drums too. If I had to give up my bass
true
part,
that.
They go back to your drums.
So I've been drumming like everybody else. I've been playing the drums for my whole life basically, and gave up a lot of it in my 20s. I was playing in bands and so forth, and I busted my ankle. They fused my ankle. I tried to continue playing it. I had a lot of pain doing so. I kind of gave up for it as far as playing a lot. And when I came down here and I was introduced to these guys, I wanted to give it a shot at switching the kick drum to my left foot. And so I worked really hard at making that transition. And it's still a work in progress.
How old were you?
Yeah,
how old were you when that happened?
in the 20s, mid-20s. Okay. But I kept playing, but I had stopped playing as trying to put food on the table, which never materialized anyway, and ended up working in business and so forth. But I would play occasionally, and I did a lot of teaching, high schools. I taught at the Coast Guard Academy, Boston University, the percussion sections, and marching bands, the drum corps, and percussion units that would put on shows. I did that for a number of years, which didn't require my feet. And my last gig was as a science teacher, and I helped out with the marching percussion, with the stage percussion, and that's when I got back into playing full time. And started with my right foot, came down with these guys, and I gave it my best to switch to the left foot, and so far so good.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Well, let's address one thing. Costa Rica. I would like to ask how you decided to come to Costa Rica. What brought you to this beautiful country?
Yeah, it's never a clean answer. I don't know how we ended up here.
Really?
But my wife's cousin is a developer down here, so we came down here for a vacation. And normally, wherever we would go for a vacation, we'd look at property. It could be in the States, it could be in another country. Anyway, we came down here, and we decided to buy a vacation home. Bought the vacation home, and we were living in Los Angeles for 36 years. And we decided the vacation home became a way out. If things were uncomfortable in the States financially, that we had somewhere to go. But over the years, I had a business, so we bought the house 16 years ago, and then retired 9 years ago. And when we retired, we decided to sell everything in Los Angeles and move down here. It's the quality of life.
Yeah.
And that was our main drive, was to live somewhere as beautiful as this, and have instead of for many, many years working in Los Angeles to pay the bills and survive, it was nice to just to relieve ourselves of that and then have each day a quality day.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a broad brush
Okay.
stroke.
Well, actually, I grew up in New Mexico, but I lived in Houston for 35 years. From there, I played with groups, toured around the country, so on and so forth. And I met a woman from Mexico, married her. We started going to Mexico, planning on living there. And we were in Monterrey. We had a casita, or not a casita, actually, a large house down there. And it got so violent. I said, I'm gonna check out Costa Rica. So 30 years ago, I would fly out here every chance I get away from the jobs and all the other things. And eventually I said, I'm moving down here as soon as I can. And I ended up having an accident with a brain injury, got a settlement, and moved. So I ended up here by that means, and it was a great thing. And like they say, I was here 3 years, and finding people to play with was difficult. And then one day, ta-da, we just all kind of came together. It was a blessing. But yeah, that's how I ended up down here.
Nothing planned.
Yeah, and
Really?
I've always been one that would run off and go live wherever I felt like. So it didn't bother me at all to move down here. I love it. People are good here, you know.
Yeah.
Growing up in Albuquerque, I know where to go and where not to go. So, anyway.
Oh, very good. Let's go with you, Charlie.
Oh, wow. And so, you know, it's often said people that come to Costa Rica, they come here because they want to come here, or because they're wanted elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of both.
That's a good
You know, so I keep my head down. But anyway, yeah, my wife and I came here 5 years ago for a week's vacation and fell in love with it, and bought a house on that trip. And within 60 days escrow, we were living here. And probably ever since, you know, Lawrence often says in rehearsal, you've been to our rehearsal space. Yeah. You know, how beautiful this is. I mean, and we're rehearsing here and working away and having fun and camaraderie. It's beautiful, beautiful setting, except when it's raining. You know, and then it's like all hands on deck. But yeah, we love it here. I'll probably die here momentarily.
Almost did.
I think we all will.
Yeah.
I first came here 16 years ago. I'd been teaching for a couple of years, and there was a layoff, and I decided to take a year off from work, and I wanted to do some grad work at the same time, and came down here to ostensibly write a paper on volcanoes, which never happened. Met someone, fell in love with the land, lived here for a year, moved back to Boston, where I was living, and moved back down here 10 years later. I've been here about 4.5 years. But what strikes me is the gentleness of the people. And I thought I would be uncomfortable in a very traditional society. I find myself living like a glove. They're so respectful. They're slow-paced, kind, and I feel welcomed here. Of course, the green and the blue and the nature. Absolutely, yeah. So it's a beautiful place to be, and I think we all feel very fortunate to be welcomed here.
All right, Lawrence, I know you have an extensive music career. Just if you can summarize, you know, some of your years working since you were in Great Britain, you moved to Los Angeles, but...
I went from in London. When I was a teenager, I had some singles out. I was with Decca, a couple of singles out. Decca when I was 18 or 19. Then I was with Arista as a solo artist. I had 3 singles and a solo album with Arista. Then I had a band with 2 other guys, singer-songwriters called Bardo. We were the biggest signing for RCA that year. Punk music came out, and we were a singer-songwriter band like a Crosby, Stills and Nash. So we had, I think, 3 singles out, and then the album went nowhere. So I left England, moved to Germany, lived with my brother who was a session drummer, and I did some session work in Munich. Then I was there for about a year doing sessions. Then I was in Italy, moved to Italy. My girlfriend was a well-known, she had a couple of hit singles in Europe and Germany and Italy. So I toured with her for about 3 years in Italy.
Wow.
And then then I met with my brother in the States. And it was deciding whether I was going to carry on with music or not. And if I was going to go to the States, it was either go to New York or Los Angeles. So we ended up going to Los Angeles. And that's where I remained for about 36 years.
Wow.
And then writing all the time, but then having to pay bills like everyone, like all musicians. You have to find other things to feed the family and pay the mortgage.
Sure.
So I did that for, I've been writing ever since I was about 18. And then when I retired and we moved down here, I was able to do what I was doing when I was 18 or 19. I had the luxury of not having to worry about having to go to work every day.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at now. I get up every day and I write and I play.
That's awesome.
And yes, life is good.
Yeah, that's good.
And fortunate to meet these guys. It's nice that we've had conversations before about purpose
Yes.
and goals. It's nice to have a group of friends that share the same purpose. You know, we
Yeah.
rehearse twice a week and we're developing, and it's a good thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's go to Gene. I know, Gene, you also have an extensive, a very extensive in the music industry, especially in recording and music industry.
Like I said, my father was a country musician, so at an early age, and it came with all the country benefits, you know, the drinking, party, and everything else. But at an early age, he started teaching me to play. I started out with guitar and kind of evolved into bass. Ended up having a couple guys across the street that were a drummer and a guitarist. We ended up being really good by the time we were 12, 14 years old. We played quite a bit, did some recording, and then turned around and high school came along. I got an offer from a group in Denver. I left 10th grade, never looked back. Started playing around the country. I played for Bobby Roberts Music, that's Ted Nugent's booking agent, and I was placed in bands all over the country whenever they needed a bass player. Traveled around a bit, then got tired of sleeping on pool tables and everything else. Ended up back in Houston and started busting butt. Ended up building a recording studio, a large screen printing company, and ran into a few guys, Mars and Phil from Pantera, some other folks that ended up knowing, and just started doing the heavy metal scene. Played that and toured those out for a while. And like I said, in the end I had an accident and decided I was ready to move here. And when I did, I was fortunate because I mean I come in and jack, and these guys are a big kind of funk, jazz, all this, and I'm looking at me, I'm going, huh? Da, 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 da. And they've got me down now where we're doing some real funky, some really cool stuff. It was a good camera move. There's a really new awakening for me. So that's, like I said, I can't remember half the bands I used to play. It's crazy, but I did about 10 years on the road. So.
Amazing. Tell us a little more about the part in your life. We talked last time, and you were telling me about the studio, the recording studio.
Yeah, it's funny because you know how it is with these guys. And my wife at the time, I had picked up the little TIAC and this and that, and she was an architect and a manager, so she didn't see my shop. I had a large shop, and at the mezzanine, I went ahead and started building a studio. She comes by 2 years later to go upstairs and look, and she's like, oh my God, I've got all the Pro Tools, HE, I'm bringing fans in, really got into it. And the way I learned it was I had gotten interns in from Full Sail, and I would use them and stand over their shoulder as we started recording. We did everybody from the Southwest, like Little Joe. I don't know if you know who those guys are.
From Bonanza?
No. Little Joe. No, Little Joe is a country the Latino bands. Those type of guys, and Ramon Ayala, all these guys.
Ramon Ayala, of course, Mexican music.
So we started doing a lot of that, Norteño, Conjunto, you name it. And then we started doing a lot of rock, blues, things like that, bands coming in. I had the opportunity to play with Emmylou Harris's guitarist, who's talking about that drummer and steel guitar on an album for another country guy. And these are guys that come in and they say they listen to the song once and go, "You got a score? Yeah, pick it up." You know, it's perfect work. But I've been very fortunate that way. I've run into a lot of people. I said I had breakfast with people on a deal at one time. You forget many things in your life. Which is kind of, you know, it is what it is, but I'm glad I'm here now. Wouldn't change. After I had my accident, the doctors were saying, "Well, what if you would have died? What if this would have happened?" And I said, I wouldn't care. I said, I've lived a life I've always wanted to. I'm an oil painter. I've done that. I've toured with bands. I've made albums. I said, I couldn't ask for a better life. "Oh, you're crazy. You're suicidal." No, man. I'm happy. I said, I'm content.
That's really good. I'm really glad to hear that. Not a lot of people can say that. So you're blessed. That's good. Awesome. Let's go with Charlie.
I don't know why. That's a good thing, buddy. So, I don't know. It's kind of a broad question, but my musical career began in high school. Developed into a 10-piece touring band around the Midwest. Ended up leaving that and moving to Chicago. And lived in Chicago for 15 years and played with all my heroes I had mentioned before, with the blues acts and whatnot. Went from there and moved to Hollywood and did that scene for a while. Got to tour the States with some singers and blues singers and whatnot. And moved to LA and Orange County after that, and like Lawrence was saying, got married and had kids, had mortgages and car payments and all that. So worked a straight gig and kind of left music behind for a while. But luckily enough, I came to my senses and got a divorce and came to Costa Rica. You know, so but no, it's all good. And then now I'm just completely enraptured with my fellow musician compatriots here. And Lawrence said twice a week at least, we all get together and share ideas and musical notes and whatnot. And I'm happy, truly happy.
All right, let's go with Jack.
If you call it a music career, I love to drum. I was introduced to drumming when I was 8 years old as part of the CYO, the Catholic Youth Organization of Boston. And it was a huge organization. Every city and town, every parish had its own drum line, and played basketball, you learn how to box. And I fell in love with the drums, and I did that sort of stuff for a long time. We weren't in the best of economic situation, so I couldn't afford a drum set, so it was pots and pans for a long time. And played a little bit of drum set, different various bands around the Boston area, nothing big. I love the marching stuff. I love the percussion on the stage, that sort of thing. And I was out of it, I would say, for about 12 years. I really didn't play, and came back to it 10 years ago. Played with some bands around the Boston area, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of R&B, and then I found myself down here, and just luckily met these guys. And I couldn't be happier.
That's amazing, guys.
And I have to say something on your behalf, though. There's this guy. I've played with drummers, from concert drummers to studio drummers to you name it. I mean, good like Blas Elias from Slaughter, Bobby Rock from the Nelsons, all these other guys. This dude can sit, and he's the most technical. He can count to 1,000,001, and he's got the beats down and on perfect time. I mean, he's awesome. But yet he can. Usually you're one or the other, but he can go live and put on a show that's fantastic. So we could not have been any more lucky than to find Jack.
Too kind.
No, I'm serious, man.
the mail, yeah.
I want that. No, I had to say he is. You're
That's amazing. So I hear the different life stories, and I'm thinking, even what are the probabilities of, 4 people going through the, life events, and then falling on one specific place where you can all meet together and make music once again, right?
We're fortunate. We've gone through with different musicians, and it's a small community. So we've found the right people to work with that works for us. It's the friendship and the compatibility. We all get on well. So it's everyone's got a piece of the puzzle here.
It's kismet.
It is.
It's serendipitous.
It is.
We can sit down at a practice and come up with 2 songs. All of a sudden, we just start grooving. All 4 of us, it just clicks. I know when he's going to stop. He knows when we're going to double time, and it's great. You can't beat it.
I think with all the good-natured ribbing, I think the main element that fuses us together is respect.
Yeah.
And we really have respect for each other's work ethic and determination to get better at our craft, even as we get older. There's still that dream of getting better. So,
That's amazing. So let's talk about the music that you're currently recording. I know you're working on an album.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me how this album is going to be called? Do you have a name yet for it?
Celtic swing.
Not yet. We're kind of at our goal at the moment. We have 10 songs sketched out, probably 6 of them completed. So the idea is to get 10 original songs together, rehearse them, record them, and then release the album. So
Okay.
we will probably, we have the 10 songs sketched out, and we'll keep writing as we rehearse. So whatever the best 10 songs are, we'll put out as those Sugar Daddies. So that's the goal. And as we rehearse, we try different things on the songs. Charlie crazy
like
because
today.
each time we start, there might be a little change to the arrangement. But we're developing. None of us have been constant musicians year after year for the past maybe 10 years. So now we're developing as a band, and our songwriting and our music is developing as we go.
Yeah, we've got a signature sound between us. What's neat about the thing that we're coming out with, we're doing everything from country on it, kind of a country, a blues beat, all the way up to kind of a pop, and then we're back up at a jazz fusion-y kind of funk, right? With what would you call insatiable.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. We haven't stuck to one deal where no song sounds the same, but it has a signature sound to it, where it can be, you can point it at us. But it's awesome. It's all the salt that we carry around from all these years. It really works.
And it's nice that we have Charlie's harp playing is great. So we have a mixture, a palette of sound that we work with, which creates the sound and the pace of the songs, I guess, that we're writing. And it depends on if I'm playing guitar, if we start a song and I'm playing guitar or I'm playing keyboards. It depends on what I'm playing, as the kind of the direction we'll take in the songwriting.
Okay.
yeah. I've experienced a great deal of generosity from these guys, and particularly Bones has a long history of writing music, going from the pen, translating it into a record, and Gene with his production, Charlie with his performance. It was really my first foray into a complete album. I played on some songs here and there, but for me, it's just a great deal of generosity from these guys to involve me in the process, and I'm a newbie at it, so it's.
Yeah, for us, every day's gravy. We're old. We need to get it done while we still can, where everything's still working.
That's amazing. You guys have a lot of fun doing it. I've been at a couple of your practices, and I can feel it. It's amazing. Anything that you would like to share with the audience here in Costa Rica? My initial intention with this video is for pretty much ticos, really, to find out how much talent we have from abroad, here locally.
Yeah.
That hopefully in the future there could be a program where they could benefit from it, there's so much experience here.
It's like Luis, I'd have to say. We picked up a guitar player, Luis Sabaja, who is just fantastic in his own right. But when he would put up with our old asses. No, but he'd come in and play with us, and then he would walk away with a little piece of, oh, that's how that's done. Oh, that's how, and he would take it to the next level. It was kind of what you're talking about. He's a Tico. He came in and we worked well together, and he walked away. We walked away benefiting from having him play with us. He walked away benefiting from playing with us. So it's kind of neat, you know.
Yeah.
I like that.
A message I would have for kids: play to have fun. Play for the joy of playing.
Yeah.
And don't worry about all the technique and all of that stuff. That stuff will come later. But just have fun playing music. It's really is a privilege to be able to do that. To have the time to play music.
There are a couple schools in the city close to us, which is Tilaran.
Yeah.
They do have programs for kids, but there's so much opportunity. That's what I see. There's so much opportunity in closing the gap.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's jazz musicians in the area. I'm about to interview a jazz musician from Canada.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean,
She's great.
and
Beautiful
so
voice as
how,
well.
what can we do to, you know, just kind of interconnect the two cultures that appear to be a little distant from each other?
Well, we tried when we were part of the choir.
True.
That was which Jack was a big force behind, where we have a mixture of locals and expats, and that was the goal. Where we did the performance in Tehran, in the auditorium.
Yep.
Which was a great, it was a good experience, great experience.
Yeah.
I think it was enjoyed with both cultures. Both cultures. I don't know how many cultures we've got.
Yeah.
Having lived here 16 years ago, I can base what I see now, what I saw then. The interest and the level of musicianship of the young kids, when I say young, people under 30, has grown exponentially. When I first came here, there was really not much at all musically. Now you see a great many kids in their teens and their 20s, they're just much better players. I think if you attribute that to, I guess there's a Cuban population here, there's been a Venezuelan expatriate, Colombian, and North American expatriates, and also with YouTube, but this tremendous growth musically with young people I've seen the past 15 years.
And you do play with a number of Ticos and some other groups and other things that you bring them.
Yeah,
he's in demand, man.
A lot of good musicians. A lot of good musicians, younger musicians.
So when I first came out here, I started playing with Ruben, you know Ruben, guitar player, and Yvonne, and I started heavy metal with two Ticos. It was a blast, you know. We did pretty cool in the beginning, but then we kind of drifted our way. So there's great players out there. I mean, incredible players. I enjoyed myself.
That's good. When do you think the album will be ready and released?
Good question. Next. We're working on it. It's.
I know it's hard. You can't rush art, right? But
we're working on it. One of the songs we've worked on and was arranged and complete is taking a little bit of a turn. But I think the process is we have the 10 songs sketched out. Next step is recording them, listening to them, and seeing if they're the best that we can do.
okay.
So probably with mixing, engineering, finishing the writing, maybe another 3 months at least, I would imagine.
Maybe September 1st.
Maybe. Maybe. It always takes longer for me than I think it's going to. I'm very optimistic. It's we'll have this done by this time. But time goes by so quick.
We tweak a lot too. We go in and, let's go ahead and just change this, the bridge over here, we're going to put another chorus, and we revamp them for the better.
Sure.
But yeah, it happens.
The process.
We got the time.
I'm sorry. The process is enjoyable. It's a creative opportunity, and there's no stress. There's no deadline. It's going to happen when it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think we're all pretty tolerant of each other. Patient.
That's good. That's awesome. Well, today I also want to thank the Jungle Resort. They nicely opened the doors for us to have this interview here. I was hoping that we would have some beer while we had this conversation, but maybe it's a good idea that we didn't.
Probably.
But
we appreciate you.
Yeah, that's
being part of the community as well. You're a great addition, and you're so generous with your time as well.
Great musician too.
Great
Piano player,
musician.
guitar player, singer.
Yeah, singer.
And you're very generous with your studio.
Yeah.
It takes someone like you to bring this all together in some cases. Well,
I don't know.
doing my part.
We might see you with the Sugar
Hey,
Daddies.
That's it, behind the ivories.
I'll be happy to join this great league of musicians. And it's an honor. I feel humble about it. So it's great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Amazing addition to this community.
I hope so. We're just trying to do our part. Trying to contribute. We take so much from the community. As you mentioned, people here are great. They're welcoming. They treat us so nice, and you just want to give back.
Yes.
So it's doing our part is what we have to do. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, do you have a social pages, social media, Facebook, Twitter, any of that? Not yet.
Instagram, that's
Okay.
about it. I'm on Facebook.
All right, we'll just put a link here for the people who want to listen to your music. Maybe release a little short, audios for the people to kind of see what Sugar Daddies are all about. I'm sure there's some concerts online. I think I've seen a couple of them. When is your next gig, guys?
Good question. Since you're not doing sound out at the thing, no, we've been asked a lot. It's just a matter of
I think the
doing that.
focus of Ray is writing and finishing these songs. That's
Yeah.
been our main goal,
Yeah.
our main focus.
There's an opportunity, I think, in the month of April for a couple of days.
Yeah, this.
It'd be nice to have them for our eulogy or something. No.
Playing in the background.
That's good.
There's a lot of opportunities. It's just the right time.
Right. Very good. You will be playing here pretty soon at Moya's Jack, aren't you?
I'm playing
This Sunday,
with
or-
Charlie and myself. I'm
Oh,
playing
Charlie
with,
too?
Tom and the boys.
For San Carlos band, and then I'll be playing in April with Johan and a jazz quartet at Moyes as well.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's a force of nature.
I listen to her and you're doing, oh my gosh.
Professional, man.
I love jazz.
She's my neighbour. She came down and played with us
Oh, really?
on Saturday afternoon. It was great fun.
Oh my goodness.
Spent hours.
Wow. That's amazing. It's like heaven on earth, right?
She's neighbours. She's my neighbour.
Yeah.
We're all neighbours. It's great.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. Well, once again, thank you so much. For my audience, remember to follow, subscribe, and like. You do a lot of help to the community. Make sure that the Arenal area and the Arenal community in Costa Rica, the whole Costa Rica knows who the Sugar Daddies are. Amazing musicians. Once they release their album, I promise you, you're gonna love it. It's so groovy. It sticks with you. The melodies just carry on with the rest of the day. So you're gonna love it. I'm Miguel Santiago. This is the Tilaran Chronicles. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Break.